I guess that was my dress rehearsal. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, as you've seen, maybe, as you've noticed, I have figured out how to do a live through Zoom to Facebook. And you know that darn mute button is always on. Anyway, okay, I'm going to do it again because that was my dress rehearsal. So, I am sharing with you a story from February 16th, 2020. And this date has come up a couple times in the last couple days. So I took that as a sign that I'm supposed to share this story. There was a friend of mine in Idaho who maybe he was 85 when I left in 2015, and a very special friend of mine. He was part of the retired guys group who would hang out very early at Starbucks in the morning every day. And so I got to know him and I got to see him almost every morning when I went for coffee. Uh, and then during my donut adventure, he was right there with me. And I saw him again when we went back in 2017. And I could tell he was starting to forget things. And I'm glad I got to see him again. Um, and I haven't heard much from anybody in Moscow. And earlier this week, I decided to, search his name. And I saw that he passed away February 16th, 2020. And I have a story from February 16th, 2020 that I felt compelled to share with you. So, the point of my business, my posts, my work, the things I do every day is the goal is to empower women to trust themselves, to listen to their inner voices, their intuition, and use that in their daily lives. It can be, you can use it for anything, anytime you need something. Instead of asking somebody else their opinion, check in with yourself. That's where your truth is, that's where your power is, and that's where all the answers are. So, this little story from February 16th, 2020, I wrote it out because I was in a workshop and the participants needed to share a story. And I don't remember what kind of story. I think just share like a pivotal moment, a story that had to be under 3.5 minutes. So I worked on this and I wrote it out a few times, trying to get it under 3.5 minutes. And I really liked it. And then when it came time to share, I didn't even use it. I shared my donut story because everybody was sharing these big stories, and I thought this wasn't big enough. And now I'm getting the sense that it is big. It is big enough. It is enough, and I'm enough. And I hope you get something out of this story. I hope you see that your intuition is always there to help you. And your intuition is part of your power and part of your femininity. The divine feminine, that is a thing. And I believe that that is what society was once based on. I believe there was more feminine power. There were more women running things, in touch with nature and using this power. And at some point, maybe it had something to do with a certain Bible story. At some point, men took the power back and figuratively, literally beat women into submission. Okay, I didn't want to go all that way, but hey, I think that's what happened. And so I believe that tapping into your intuition and using that as a guide is a way to tap into your feminine power. And the more we can do that, the better. Okay, here is my story from February 16th, 2020. Ready? Okay. It was February 16th, 2020. I was going out to dinner with my husband. It had been a long time since we'd been out for any kind of date night. The last time was probably our taco anniversary happy hour 6 months earlier, just after I had lost my job. It had been a tough time for me. I was beating myself up for a job change that ended with me jobless and applying for unemployment. In fact, I'd been so stressed I had lost my eyebrows. You've heard that story, right? I was searching for another source of income. My old job at Starbucks didn't want me back. Trader Joe's didn't want me. True story. I didn't know what to do. I thought maybe I could start another business. I had been following a woman on Facebook, had taken a course with her. She was knowledgeable, she was connected, and she was certain she could help spiritual women build online businesses, or help women build spiritual online businesses. So with my unemployment about to run out, I needed to do something. And I did. I signed up for 6 months of coaching and a mastermind at a price I could never reveal to my husband. He actually told me not to tell him. Maybe I had been led to this coach. I felt a connection. Her words resonated with me. I liked her and I trusted her. But I wanted someone to tell me it was the right thing to do. There wasn't anyone who could do that. So I had to trust myself. I wanted something to change. I knew something had to change. I decided to take the leap. So I was treating this dinner as a celebration. I wanted to enjoy the night with my husband and the wonderful food someone was going to make for me. When we walked into the restaurant, I saw a table at the window and crossed my fingers that it would be ours. The hostess walked up to us, asked our name, and took us to that table. Yes. We sat down and started looking at the menu. I wanted the complete experience, appetizers, wine, dessert. And as I was settling in to enjoy the night to come, I noticed very hot air blowing on us. We looked up and around but couldn't find the source. Crap. I wanted this table. I wanted an awesome night out, but the hot air had to stop. I didn't know what to do, but I closed my eyes and asked silently in my head, what can I do? How can I make this better? I received an answer immediately. Move closer to him. What? Move closer to him. And I argued in my head, but it's worse where he is. Move closer. Okay, fine. I moved closer to my husband, right into the full blast of hot air. And then I saw it. There was a small space heater hidden in the corner. It's February in Minnesota. I pulled it out of the corner and turned it off. Yes, I did it. I made it better. My awesome night could proceed. I asked, I listened, I hesitated slightly, and I did it. I followed my inner voice and then went back to my celebration dinner. That's it. That is how easy and simple it can be to check in, to ask, to get the answer, and then take that step. I know a lot of times we ask and we don't like the answer, or we don't understand the answer, right? You might hear it, but you might not get it. That's when trust and faith kicks in and you take that step. You take that little step, like, okay, move closer. Yeah, I didn't want to move closer. I started to, and I could feel that air, and how is that going to help? I didn't know how that could help. I didn't have to know. I just needed to take the step. I just needed to trust and follow my intuition and take the step. And it worked. That's all I needed to do. I could go back to my dinner, and it was a lovely dinner. Yes, I loved it. It was great. Okay, so that's the baby step. Checking in, taking a deep breath, and asking the question, and then following the answer you get. There's always an answer, right? But you question it. Oh, that was just me. Or, oh, that was so silly. Or, oh, that doesn't make sense. Stop arguing with it and just do it. Whatever it is. Okay? All right, I'm sure I should add a disclaimer onto that. But you know what I mean, okay? Have a lovely day. Think about my dinner story. I was called to share it, so I know somebody needs it. We all need it. I need it sometimes. I need the reminder. So just keep it in mind, all right? Yay. Have a lovely day.